How you doing? I am Richard, and I am dumb. I am dumb is an acronym for Diary of a Black Man, and I am one of them. Today we want to discuss fear. It absolutely amazes me how much of my life is controlled and directed by fear. I imagine if I stopped any one of you guys or, any person on the street and said, hey, what are you afraid of? You'd either look at me crazy or you reply nothing. When from the smallest details to the largest details, it seems to me, at least in my personal life, that I'm acting out in fear. Somebody's at work right now, and most of the people who are at work this very second are at work not because they love what they do, not because they love their life and they're getting up, but because they fear what happens if they don't show up to work, if they don't hold that job, what will happen? Most people stick in relationship situations, even in the midst of unhappiness, because what do I do? Well, what do I do? How do I change? In reality, most of the reason we don't forgive people or forget and let go of the pain and hurt of our past isn't because we love ourselves so much. It's because we're scared that if we forget, if we let go, it may happen again. Today is Martin Luther King Day, and there's going to be a whole bunch of different speeches and preached words about not forgetting his work, not forgetting what he did. I agree. Don't forget the man that he was and the movement that he created. But I can't push that with fear, man. I can't push it like, hey, if you forget what he did, if you forget all that he said, you'll fall back into the cycle. Reality is, man, we're not just falling into the cycle. We're even worse now. Martin Luther King pushed a movement of love, a movement that was led and directed and guided by the simplicity of love, the direct strength that comes in simple love. Instead, we're operating in complex fear of this and fear of that, fear of her and him and everything. We're brushing our teeth because we're scared of losing it. We're dyeing our hair because we're scared of gray. We're dressing certain ways because we're scared to be ridiculed. We're painting our houses and cutting our grasses. We're doing so many things based on fear. When it's not the act, actually, it's the root, man, the foundation, the why. Why is it that we do what we do? I'm looking at my life and I'm convicted, truthfully. I'm convicted by the fact that most of the things I've ever done in my life have been a result of my fear. I studied hard because I was scared to fail. I went to church because I was scared to go to hell. I volunteered because I was scared not to find myself doing the right stuff. It hurts me because I'm looking back and I'm like, man, that was worthless crap, man. Today is Martin Luther King Day, and there's going to be a whole bunch of people pushing the don't forget. Don't forget, because if you forget, it'll happen again. If you forget, those things will affect you and you blah, blah, blah. Don't forget. But don't forget because it was true love that he pushed. It was a true and real movement that he stood on. I had a conversation with the young lady yesterday, actually, after church, and she was talking about all the pain and hurt that she harbors and holds inside. I found and figured out for myself and hopefully for you guys that most of our unforgiveness doesn't come from because we love ourselves. Doesn't come because I care so much about myself. I can't forget and I can't forgive. Well, instead, it's because I am so terrified that if I forgive you, if I forget the pain and the stress and the strain of my entire life, if I forget that stuff, I'm scared it's going to happen again. How do we not operate in fear? The truth is, I can't answer that question, man. I say for me, I can only make conscious choices. There's a wonderful lady in North Carolina who says that life is about choices. I choose not to operate in fear today. At this moment, at least, I choose to operate in love. Well, I am Richard, and I am done.